Hot Snow by Joseph Jacob. Uche was sleeping after he had a tough time with his gang the previous night in a failed carjacking operation. The police was involved, but Uche and his gang narrowly escaped. Uche had the doorbell, but it was so deep that he thought it was in a dream. Yet he managed to pull himself up and peeped through the door hole and saw Fransizka standing outside. "Hey, baby, welcome!" Uche shouted as he opened the door. The elegant woman placed her palm on Uche's chest, thereby preventing him from coming closer to embrace her. "Stay away from me," she said, and walked past Uche, who picked her roller bag and followed her to their bedroom. Uche knew that Fransizka was in a very bad mood. The last time Uche could remember seeing her in such a mood was about a year ago, when she caught him with a whore in their apartment. Uche had brought the whore home after Fransizka had left for Brazil. She missed her flight and had to come back home. Fransizka was so annoyed that she pulled her gun at him. Since then, Uche had consciously avoided stepping on her toes. Uche became worried about Eze, who had gone out in search for work. When Uche entered their bedroom, Fransizka was sprawled out on the bed. "Baby, you look sad. How was your trip?" Uche asked, choosing his words carefully. She sat up. "The damned guy double-crossed me. He took the goods and later sent his boys and robbed me of the money." She sighed, shook her head, slumped back into the bed. Uche sat beside her and started stroking her hair. "Take it easy, it will be okay." "Thanks. I will surely get even with him." 30 minutes later, when Uche felt that Fransizka must have calmed down, he dropped the bomb. "I want to tell you something, baby." "Go ahead." My brother visited and he's staying in the guest room." Before Uche could finish, Fransizka pulled him away and ran to the guest room, but she saw nobody. The only presence of Eze in the room were a few of his clothes hung on the hanger and his hold-all bag on the bed. "Where is the fool?" Uche went down on his knees. "Please, baby, he's out in search of work. I don't want him here," she shouted and entered the parlor. She went to the wine cabinet, poured herself a whiskey and sat down. Uche went to her again and knelt down beside her, still pleading for Eze. The pasture is always greener the other side of the fence. Having gotten to Germany, Eze realized that the sound of bitter nuts in the mouth is not the way it tastes. He had searched for a job for 4 months with no success. He had run into some Nigerians who told him that he came at the wrong time. The economy was going down and many companies are shutting down and thousands of people losing their jobs on a daily basis. Eze did not care about the economy. All he wanted was to get a job to sustain himself and clear his debts at home before he would lose his house. As Eze trekked back to Uche's apartment one snowy afternoon, after another fruitless search for a job, he remembered a song they used to sing in the primary school. "Oh my home, oh my home, oh my home, oh my home. When shall I see my home? When shall I see my beautiful home? I will never forget my home." As he sang the song, tears rolled down his cheeks. He remembered the coziness of Chioma's body when she cuddled him in difficult times, but she was not there to give him that support now. He remembered his two lovely children and how they used to argue about their clubs. He shook his head in agony. He had never called home after his first call, as he was ashamed of himself that what Chioma warned him about was now happening. Eze had no strength to take the staircase like he usually do, so he decided to take the lift. The die is cast. What will now happen to Eze now that Fransizka is back? Will she welcome Eze or will she send him away? The answers to these questions are in our next episode. Don't miss it.